What do you think of the male loneliness epidemic?
Why you say epidemic?
Exactly.
We're going to talk about it.
It's a real thing. I got 6 brothers. You understand me? So I can see how, and they all of different ages. So I can see how, right, this new technological cultural age that we going through has affected them. I can look at my friend groups, I can look at peers, and then I travel around the world speaking to men, and they confide in me of what's going on. Sometimes what they tell me is what they don't tell me at the same time. And I can tell you that the average man, let's say this, just the average man who wants to live and be respected and loved in society, nobody speaks upon the average man as if he's special at all.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? He has to have all of these accreditations, right? He has to make all this money. He has to be a certain height. He has to be a certain type. He has to have all of these things just to be considered in conversation, right? And so it makes him feel invisible, right? And then when he goes to places, he's not treated, you know, just with common decency a lot of times, right?
So the problem is men, the vast majority of men, in short, the vast majority of people are average. But now in our current society, it is a sin for a man to be average. Why do I say it's a sin? It's more or less like when women see men nowadays and he is not exceptional, they feel like, why should I take you seriously? Why should I give you decent respect I should give to a normal human being? Why? So that's the problem.
Right? A lot of times he gets blamed for the whole patriarch when he's just trying to get him a donut or something coming into the store. It's like, damn. So I think that amongst that on social media has him comparing himself to unreal expectations.
Right.
Right? Mentally, financially, and physically. Right? So I think that men are disconnected from themselves. Right? Because Hollywood and social media has curated all these ideas of what it means to be a man. Right? So a man doesn't even know if he is anymore. Because was it being a man when Hollywood gave me a version of the gangster or the pimp, right? Or, you know, James Bond, right? To certain people. There's all these ideas. If I'm not a drinker or a smoker, or if I'm not a tough guy, it was never like position manhood. It's like you can be an average intellectual man and you're masculine, and that's enough of being yourself.
I won't say Hollywood didn't play a part, but that's not the reason why we do not respect average men anymore. The reason we don't respect average men anymore is because we don't respect our fathers. We looked at them and like, all those stupid people, which is a wrong way to see your ancestors or the people who came before you. We're like, wow, all their traditions and everything, they are nonsense. We are going to craft something new for ourselves. And now that the internet is here, the only thing that people look at is the most successful or the abnormally successful men around, and they say, okay, this is the standard. And generally, what's the type of tradition a successful man, what type of tradition does he live? Apart from hard work, what type of tradition do they generally live? It's a life of affluence, a life of things that you can never attain. When everybody sees men and they say, okay, men, if you are not like this, then you are not on my level because I am beautiful. I only talk to millionaires. Then what happens to all the average men? Who will they talk to? Dwarves?
So I think the loneliness epidemic is real, and that's the most vulnerable population.
So I think there's a lot of layers to it. I think when it's the reason I do the epidemic thing is
because you mean to men.
I am mean to men.
I seen that clip. Don't
I
be
am
mean to men.
I don't like our culture. It's horrible. How is it okay to be confident and happy that you are an unpleasant person? Can you guys think of any man that you've heard of that says I am mean to women and you didn't have any disgusting or gag reflex towards that man? Like, yeah, how can you be proud of saying that kind of nonsense? But this woman can say it, and there is no repercussion, there's no shame, there's not even shame coming from the guy that is opposite her.
I'm really proud of being mean to men, actually.
That's crazy.
She's even proud. Crazy.
I'm not mean to you.
I know, but that's an outlier. You understand me? I don't exist. I'm not a statistic. I'm an anomaly.
Yes, of course.
That's why I say that I champion the average man, because those are the ones who need it. You feel me? I've always had certain privileges in life, right? Just because of the way that I see myself, the way that I think, my ability to communicate, my level of attractiveness, whatever it may be, I feel like I've always had privileges. So I speak outside of myself.
From a woman's perspective, I don't like to speak on what men experience because I'm not a man.
Let's just hear out. Let's just.
I only have my experience with men.
Mm-hmm.
And I have brothers and I have nephews and I have many men in my life and I adore them. I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. This generation of women is one of the most unique generations in history, at least in modern times, because this is truly the first generation of women that have any kind of autonomy over their bodies, over their ability to make money, over their ability to be entrepreneurs. You don't have to have a man to get a credit card. You don't have to get a man's approval to start a business like this. When you are financially independent from men, it creates a different dynamic on the lowest end and the highest end, because there was a time where you had to have a man to have a roof over your head. To exist as a citizen, you had to be with a man, and not just like claimed, you had to be married and then like immediately make children, whether you wanted to be a mother or not, whether you were fit to be a mother or not. Like there's just a lot of things that define women that are not in existence right now in totality. And the connection to men has become a different demand. Now, this is my experience.
So what you're basically saying is we've conquered nature to the point where a woman's limitation is no longer a limitation to her. And that is what is unique about women now.
If you're enjoying this video, please leave me a like, share the video if you are enjoying it so far, and subscribe. We need your support. It's small for you, but it's a huge thing for us. Just a button away. Click it.
And the women who are close to me. I'm not speaking for all women. Like I'm just giving my opinion on what my experiences are and the women who are around me are experiencing, because I talk about it all the time. I literally had a conversation on the way here today with my girlfriend about this. And what I think the disconnect for me and those men is twofold. One, I don't need a man to do anything for me but love me. I can love myself, but I can't love myself in the way that a partner will love you, right? Like love. I don't need you to feed me. I don't need you to put a roof over my head. I need you to protect me, but in the sense that you like protect a partner, not like safety in the world. And I think that's a dynamic that is really difficult for a lot of men, because men were not raised to be interesting. Like you just had to show up and have money, and that was like enough, or show up and be tall, or like be from the right family. And that's just not the case anymore. The other part of it is, I think the propaganda that those men that you're talking about are being fed is that women like me are the reason that they are not happy, which is not true.
So from our own perspective, the reason there's a male epidemic, male loneliness epidemic, is because men are usually shielded from being interesting. But now that they can't offer anything to women have discovered that they are not interested. Number two is men are blaming women like her for the reason why they are lonely. But does the epidemic exist though?
I know I just threw a lot at you.
No, I can download that. I don't know if that's what the average man thinks whatsoever. And I think it was an oversimplification of men's existence, right? I think that happens a lot because we polarize things. Nothing is ever simple. Everything is always complex.
Has nuance.
But we never want to think about the complexities, right? This was men's mistake when it comes to women, right? We didn't think about the complexities. We didn't think about her period and menstrual cycles, right? And not having access to pads or days off, right? Things of that nature.
Are you here to pander for her? Which man here gets married or deals with women and they don't recognize that women have women issues? Which man?
We just thought about our experience and what we want from them or what we don't want from them, right? And me as a black man in America, I don't think we've still gotten a generation of black men who have autonomy. What you want to do what you want to do, right? Move how you want to move. I was talking to a young lady who works at a prominent black media space. And she was explaining, she said, Keys, I'll be trying to advocate for you to get you awards, to get you honored in certain spaces, but they don't think you're safe enough. And I'm like, why not though? Now, she was telling me that, of course, now they're even more afraid because of Donald Trump. They don't even want to use the word black or diversity, right? So they're trying to figure out, what can we do while continuing to get in white ad dollars, right? So they're gatekeeping. Mm-hmm. Right? So that to me, it's not surprising. I already knew that. She was only confused.
I don't like this victim mentality nonsense that keeps happening. These same people that they're telling you that they don't think you are safe enough. Okay, you are an American. You are advertising or you are selling a product to the people who love America. But deep down, you don't love America. And they look at your social media and they look at your profile and you are like, the foundation of America is sinful or whatever may be, and saying our blood or rather our foundation has been tainted by evil. We are an evil country, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the case may be, whether you think those people are wrong or right is irrelevant. They love America. You don't love America as they do. Should they, in their foolishness, enrich you? Yes or no? I'm not saying you are wrong or you are right. Your politics are different. If they elevate you, would you go against them? Yes or no? The answer is most likely yes. Why should they empower you? I'm still not telling you to change, because like it or not, there are still people like you who love America genuinely, but you will cry that it is racism that they are holding you down. But let me not get into politics here. The focus is the male loneliness epidemic. Let's move on.
Affirming something that I knew, but it's like as a man, there are limitations to what society will accept from you. You understand me? Especially the version of man that you want to be, right? I think the version of man that men ultimately want to be and how we show up, I think this generation minimizes himself consistently, right? As a black man specifically, we've never gotten to the point where the black man is completely free. We're killed for our expression. You know what I mean? We're killed still for being black as we walk down the street, regardless
False.
of sexual orientation, class, level, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's one of those things to where when we hear how other people express their ideas upon us, it makes us feel as y'all don't understand the complexity of what we deal with consistently, right? And
Am I the only one, or these two people, they are just talking a bunch of words that don't make any sense? He just spent like 2 minutes saying a whole bunch of nothing. You could say this in 10 seconds. Black men in America are not treated fairly. How does that help with the epidemic, or rather talk about the epidemic issue? I don't know. People who don't share my politics will go and blast me down. Please go and blast me. The comment section is there. Go and blast.
And while at the same time, we're lobbying for empathy towards everybody else, whether you're gay, whether you're a woman, or whatever it is, we're like, I don't think you're taking the same time to get agency of thought to what we go through.
I just
right?
want to
So
hear
then
his
it becomes
point.
this
That's
battle
the only
of,
thing.
if you don't care about me, why should I care about you? Right? And then this becomes divisive because we're talking at rather to each other. And then we talk to the women we like, or we talk to the men we like, but what about the average man? He has feelings, ideas, he grew up a certain way. He probably is still trying to figure out whether he's a tough man, a real man, a high level man, a high value man. He don't know. There's all of these expectations that society is saying that a man is not living up to.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the ones that he is living up to? Because our parents still went with the average man, right? He didn't have to have all of these great things. He might have been a plumber, right? And he had a nice business and he can take care of the average woman who was doing the average things as well. And so for individuals such as yourself who are more anomalies, right? You exist in a certain bracket, a certain class, you travel a certain way. So you really don't speak for the average woman, but the average woman wants you to speak for her. They want to aspire to have those same wants, desires, privileges, right? But they don't, right? The average woman, black woman specifically, is in debt. You know what I mean? With even more debt than the average black man. Right? Between the years of 1976 and 2011, there was an incline in black men going to college. It fell off during the Obama administration. Why? Because net income didn't rise because you got out of college with a degree but no opportunities, right? So you increased in debt and it decreased your belief, and it started to create this nihilistic thinking about your world. Like, I'm living and existing in somebody else's world, and even when I do what they tell me to do, I still don't get the privilege. And then upon that, you have all of these shifts happening between white supremacy and George Floyd and Mike Brown. And now the world acts like they care about black men when we get killed, but it's still real.
See, if you continue thinking like this, you will never get anything solved, and you continue perpetually to be a victim, and nothing will get better for you. The problem with average men not being able to find women is because average women are rejecting average men. That's the whole problem. The reason why there was no epidemic during the time of our ancestors, that's our fathers and our grandfathers downwards, it wasn't because they knew what men was, but because the women there saw an average guy and was willing to submit to an average guy. The average woman was submitting to an average guy. Nowadays, the average woman sees it as an insult to submit to an average guy, meaning you have to bring out the femininity in me. What does that mean? You have to be beyond normal to bring out my default. Does that make any sense? It's like a man saying you have to be exceptionally beautiful for me to be responsible to you. How? That makes no damn sense. We live in a society where this is now normalized, where we've conquered almost every natural limitation except from aging from women, and women have chosen not to submit to men. Men did not do anything here. It has nothing to do with not understanding what you are as a man, whatever. This is men and women relationship, sexual dynamics. It's broken because one knows its role and the other rejects its role because they feel they don't need the other one. That's what's going on here. So every average lady wants a extraordinary guy. Then what happens to the ordinary guy? When ordinary women don't want ordinary guys, then who will they go for? There has to be some form of epidemic. If an average man cannot get an average woman, the system is broken. So we have to correct these things where we see it. Especially parents, where you see your daughter talking about another man as if she is higher than them. No, call it out and say that is wrong. In case you have a son, another woman is talking about your son like that. Don't think your son is exceptional. I'm not exceptional. I'm not extraordinary. I'm a normal average guy. So imagine, how will a guy fall in love with a woman when that woman sees him as beneath him? When they are equal in level, or even she is lower than him and she's still seeing him as beneath her. Do you think love can thrive that way? Do you think men would want to sacrifice that way? The answer is no. We don't deny it. Where we see it and it is wrong, we correct it, we stop it, we condemn it. So my own goal here is not to shame women. My own goal here is not to shame men. My own goal here is to shame bad behavior. Wherever we see bad behavior, let us stop it. Let us not progress it. Even if we see it in our children, let us stop it. Let's not continue this madness. Because nowadays, it's even sometimes parents that's teaching their daughters not to submit to their husbands. That's very sad. Say, focus on career, don't even look at man, blah blah blah. No, because you had a bad experience in your own case doesn't mean your child will have the same experience. Teach them what to avoid, but don't make them start seeing men in their level as horrible. When all the normal ladies are putting their eyes towards the millionaires who marry the normal guys, or are they not worth marrying? Mind you, the ladies that are rejecting them are not even the same level as them, or they are in some cases lower than them in level. You need to see some level of delusion for you to be, you'll be scared. So everybody that's married now, that has some form of inclination of judging people, be glad, be thankful to God that you are married. And don't go and be judging the men around like as if they are not trying their best. They are trying their best and they are being insulted, they are being rejected. And you with your own Rolls Royce, or when I say Rolls Royce, I mean like you are already out of the dating market, you are okay. You are now judging guys and saying if only they did it like me. We are not in the same era. Technology has spoiled a lot of things, especially social media. It has spoiled a lot of things. So people, be more gracious to the men around you, because you don't know the half of what they are going through. Where you see a lady, you like her and you try to get her attention, and she destroys you with her words or her mannerism, or expects you to worship her because she exists. As if when they start worshiping you, their bank account will increase. Instead, their bank account will be showing minus, and she will still hate you while the minus is coming out. I beg, when I go sit down, women like this Joy Taylor have everything so easy in her life to the point where she can afford to hate men, to be mean to men. I'm mean to men. And other women will be like, if Joy can be mean to men, then means I also can be mean to men. What is there? So please, people, stop this toxic culture and let's improve things. Let's grow together. Just because in the past women depended on men doesn't mean that men forced it to be like that. Those times you could just wake up and somebody raid and destroy your house. Who will protect you? Is it not the men that's there? There's nothing like, oh, she's an entrepreneur, oh, she just opened a horse shop, she's selling horses. Another people come and destroy your horse and take your horses away. What would you then do? How would you even get the money to buy your first horse or your first whatever it may be? Might was currency then. So men and women had to work together, and there was no way a woman would survive without a man. It's impossible. Imagine that system growing, and men, they are trying their best to remove the harm and the dangers in society, and they reach a stage where only men had bank accounts? Do you think when the system was evolving, they were saying only men, only men, only men, only men, or it evolved to that level? Let's not be antagonistic towards the gender. Remember, God created us male and female. God is not stupid. He knows what he's doing. Whatever limitations he has put on you, it's not for you to then go and be shouting that it is unfair because you're calling God unfair. So repent because you're in sin. So I'll leave you guys until the next one. If you don't agree with me, leave it in the comment section below. Help the channel to grow. We need your engagement. We need your comments. We need your likes. We need your shares. Until the next one, I will see you guys and gals later. Bye-bye.